Allan Aguirre with your Incorruptible 2-minute warning for a week of May 3rd. Wow, May 3rd. Hey, this week we're going to be talking about Jesus said, dot, dot, dot. There are 285 passages in the Gospels in the English Standard Version that have Jesus said in them. I've taken the first Jesus said from each Gospel, except for Wednesday, Luke, because it was the same account of Messiah's desert trek and Lucifer's attempt to tempt him as Monday's text, today's text, from Matthew 4:7. So I went with the second passage in Luke. I have not studied or looked at the passages since I initially selected them, and I have no idea what Friday will be about. So today, Matthew 4:7. Jesus said to him, "Again, it is written, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test." All right, some people think that this, some people have referred to the time, the 40 days in the desert, interesting, right? 40 days in the desert as a vision quest, that Jesus was on a vision quest. Well, towards the end of this, now you got to think about this. 40 days with no food or water. That's, maybe he sucked on cacti or something, but no food or water. This guy, Jesus, is he's not this little weakling guy that everyone tries to portray him as. I'd like to see you try 10 days in the desert without food and water. I can't do it. I'm not a buff dude. This guy's obviously a buff dude. He's like, obviously has some mojo to him. Well, towards the end, obviously, he's hungry and thirsty, and I remember learning this a long time ago. When you're tired, when you're lonely, and when you're hungry is when you're the weakest, and that's the best time for the enemy to come in and try to ransack you. Well, this is what Jesus is. He's tired, he's hungry, and he's alone, he's lonely. And the enemy comes and tries to convince him to do some things that go against the scriptures. Key here is that Jesus defended himself by correctly quoting the scriptures that Lucifer was misquoting. But unless you have discernment, you're not quite sure that he was misquoting because there's some truth in what he's saying. That's why spiritual discernment is so absolutely crucial, and that's why being biblically literate, scripturally literate, is important. And most of us don't even know what the Old Testament says. Well, that's what Jesus did. Jesus quoted the scriptures, the Tanakh, the Torah, the law of Moses, to defend himself against the attack of the enemy. I'm thinking we're supposed to imitate him.
The views and opinions expressed during our broadcasts are solely those of the broadcast producers, hosts, and/or guests, etc., and are not necessarily the views or opinions of the Travelog Network, its sponsors, or affiliates.